Plickers is a great tool that can be used for student assessment, and one of the really nice things about it is that it actually doesn't really require much technology. All you need is an iPhone or an iPad or some kind of smartphone. So to start, you want to go to plickers.com, and from there you're going to need to create an account. I already have mine, so I'm going to go straight to my library. And here you can see I have some questions and some folders set up. But the first thing I want to talk about is how Plickers work. So with Plickers, every single student is assigned a card, and cards look like this. There are 2 cards per page, and Plickers actually allows you to print these cards for free, and you can have up to 63 cards, so 63 students. And what you do is, after asking students questions, which I'll go over how to make later, students hold up their card, and the way the card is oriented tells Plickers what the student answer is. So you can see here that this B is upwards. So that would mean that the student, if they held up the card like this, chose answer B. If it were turned and say A were facing up, then Plickers would know they chose answer A. So Plickers questions can have up to 4 choices. You could have A, B, C, and D, and they also allow for true-false questions. Now, in order to assign student a card, you would need to go into classes. So let's say I want to create a new class, and pretend I was doing this for W200. I'd write in W200. You can select what school year they are and what subject. I'll say computers. And you can actually choose a color for your class. So if you have multiple classes, you can give each class a different color. So you want to save your class. From there, you need to enter in your students. There are 2 ways you can do this. You can either just type in a student name, so say I had a student Jane, or you can actually add a roster. So say you have a pre-typed roster somewhere, you can type it in like this or paste it in like this, and it will make the roster for you. Now you'll see that as I add in students, they are automatically given a number. Plickers automatically assigns each student to a card. So like these cards over here, I would see when I pass them out, I need to make sure that Jane gets card 1, Becca gets card 2, Andrea gets card 3. Because when you scan the cards with your phone to gather student responses, Plickers can tell which card is which because they each have a unique design. And each card is labeled with the number on all the corners. So now that I've created my class, I want to go into my library and I'll show you guys how to make questions. As you can see, I already have several folders and a question set up. If you need to add a folder, go here. So let's say I want to have a folder of just my language arts questions. You add it and save it, and now I have my 4 folders. Nice thing is questions are not specific to class. So say I have multiple classes and I want to ask the same questions in, I can do that. I would just go into each folder, select the questions I want, and then ask them. Or if you have several different classes, it's nice because you could just make folders that are specific to each class and put the questions for each class in each folder. Now that I've done all of this, I'm going to show you how you would actually use the cards. So from here, let's say if I have this question here, plant and animal cells are the exact same, and I want to ask this question to my class. Add it to my queue, and let's say I'm asking this to my W200 class. I would add it to my W200 queue. Now I can go into live view. From here, I want to go into I have it set up on an iPad app. And so as you can see, I can pick which class I'm working with. So I added that question to my W200 class, so I'm going to select my W200. And it now has the questions here. Now, one of the downsides of Plickers is that it doesn't have a great way to present the questions, so you could either create a PowerPoint that goes along with Plickers to present the questions, or you can just use the live view, which you would leave up on the computer screen. And because now that I've connected, when I refresh, it should show that I'm on there. So say the question I want to ask is the one I wrote earlier. I would select that question, and it will now present this question to the class. And on live view, I can see. So what I would do from there is scan the student cards from the app. And so all you do is click scan down at the bottom, and it would access the card, and then I could scan them. You can also clear responses by clicking this down at the bottom. So say students weren't paying attention or they messed up, you could clear responses and let everyone answer again. Once you're done, you just click this check mark and it would show you what students answered. Now in live view, you can actually show what the answer is and you can get a graph. And once you've scanned student responses, it will highlight that they've answered. Those are the basics of using Plickers. And you can also make it full screen, but this is a really great tool for gathering a lot of student responses in a short amount of time. It's nice because it doesn't require a lot of technology.